Welcome to the Ray Bros Nerd Show. I'm your host, Jonathan, with my brother, Zach.
What's up, guys?
And we're episode 14, Cinco Quattro. So, Cinco Quattro.
Was that right?
I don't know. Uno Quattro. There you go. Uno Quattro.
I can't remember.
How to do 14 in Spanish.
I thought it was like DAC Quattro.
Well, what I did is I split them up.
No, it is DAC Quattro.
Well,
10 and
congratulations.
5.
So, a little bit of warning. This podcast is going to contain some spoilers. So just deal with it. Because the first thing I wanted to bring up, because I told my brother I wanted to talk about it, was the movie Split. The M. Night Shyamalan film that he just released.
What a twist.
What a twist. And I wanted to say this. Like, this is going to sound weird. So, what everyone already knows is it's a movie. Like, if you've seen the trailers, if you haven't, go see a trailer. Go see the damn movie. Support it. That it's a guy with split personalities, and he kidnaps 3 girls. That's what everyone knows.
And kills a man.
Or, no, he doesn't kill the man. He doesn't kill him. He drugs him. And the guy
just leaves him there and then pulls away?
Yeah, he just leaves his ass there.
Oh.
Yeah, he just leaves him. He doesn't kill him.
That's it. Okay.
Because he says, like, in the later part of the film, when it's on the news, that he woke up and, like, was disoriented, didn't know where he was.
Oh, and that was the uncle. Okay.
Yeah, the uncle with the...
Which made it even
bears don't wear clothes, which I'll get to in a minute. God damn, the movie's messed up. Well, anyways, so what people don't know is the main actor in that movie can act his ass off.
I knew it. I've been preaching about James McAvoy for a long time.
James McAvoy. I am sorry I have not watched many of your other films. I know you're in the X-Men movies.
Yeah.
And other ones, sorry, I really don't follow you that well. But I want to tell you something. You'll never listen to this, but you are amazing in Split. Because here's the deal. He does some of the split personalities in this movie, and he does them so well. This might sound kind of messed up, and I kind of told my brother this, but there gets to the point in the movie where it's like you are worried about the girls still because he traps them in somewhere or whatever. Mm-hmm. You're worried about the girls, but at the same time you're like creeped out, but you want to see like what character he's going to come up with next or what split personality is going to talk, because you're just like, and it's weird because in the movie this guy's a total creep. Obviously he's got issues, but there's parts in the movie where the audience like laughs, but it's like one of those laughs that is like, oh god, like
who does that remind you of? Like, there's one movie bad guy I can think of that totally reminds me of. I haven't seen the movie, but I know what you mean.
I can't think. I don't know.
Well, I guess there's 2. One that's actually good. One that's, like, dumb. Freddy Krueger.
Freddy Krueger, yeah, that's a good point.
He's a child rapist, but you got people rooting for
Freddy Krueger. Yeah, and that's how this movie ends up at one part. It's not like you're cheering for the guy, but it's like you forget that the girls are in horrible danger at one point, and you're just like, what is this guy going to do next? Like, what is this guy, like, one of his people that he has inside of him, like, what is he going to do? And from watching that movie, I want to say, like, I'd have to go back and do the true listing, but that movie might be in, like, my top, like, 20 movies of all time that I've seen. Because it's like... And here's the thing. Here's where the spoiler comes in. I don't consider it a horror movie now that I know what it connects to. I consider it a superhero film or a comic film because it is. But you don't know that until the very end of the movie. Mm-hmm. And I don't want to lead too much into why, so maybe people will be more curious.
No, you already said spoilers.
Yeah. So the movie attaches, and my brother brought this to my attention. It was funny because usually I don't like hearing spoilers of movies, but my brother calls me, and my brother never calls me. No offense.
Yeah, I don't like talking on the phone.
Yeah, he calls me. It's like the middle of the day. I'm like doing something. I'm like, hold on, I'll call you back. He's like, dude, you have to see the movie Split. Blah 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 blah. I was like, why? And I don't remember exactly how the conversation went, but you're like, it's related to Unbreakable. I was like, what? You're like, yeah, at the end of the movie, you see Bruce Willis, and he's basically and he tells me the whole movie. He's like like literally almost scene from scene. Like I almost wanted to start drinking coffee and shit. But you remember telling me this crap?
Yeah, because it was like I had read, like I had seen like this twist, and because let me frame it first. I don't go see movies in the theaters very often.
Yeah.
And I'm 100% a person who's very much like, I don't give a shit about spoilers.
Yeah.
I'm totally a person that it's not about the destination, it's about the journey type thing. Mm-hmm. And most people are like, oh, don't spoil it for me, you're spoiling. That doesn't bother me, and I feel like people should let go of that. Because at the same time then, with like spoilers in mind about certain things, you can go into a movie and just enjoy it instead of like, I want to see what the twist is. I want to, because then you're like waiting for that. Like, especially if you're seeing an M. Night movie.
Yeah.
You're sitting there waiting for the twist.
Yeah.
You know, so like a lot of the aspects of a film can be lost on you.
Yeah.
But if people would just let go and just every once in a while, if they get spoiled something, like this, and 100% John got spoiled on this movie. And it made him want to see the movie.
More than I did. Because I already want to see it because I told my brother I like the mental games of like split personalities and like those kind of psychological movies or whatever. Mm-hmm. But like when you told me what happened, like, and I gave you permission, you're like, and you're nice about it at least. You're like, how would you feel if I told you?
Yeah, because that was the thing. Like, I know, like, it's not an offense to my brother that, you know, he cares about spoilers. He wants to experience a story, which most people do. Like me, I'm the outlier. Mm-hmm. But a large part of that is because I don't get to see movies in the theaters very often anymore. So most movies get spoiled for me anyway. So it's not like anything as much of a surprise. You know, I already knew that Han Solo died before I saw Star Wars.
Yeah.
Because it had already been out a few weeks. And then, like, you can't go on Facebook without a meme of, like, Han shot first and he got shot last. You know,
oh yeah,
like,
he got stabbed in the belly.
So, you know, for me it's not a big deal, but like my brother does. But like this was so important that I was like, I don't want him to let this movie slide and like forget about it for a second and not see it and have to wait for the Blu-ray and me have to just sit on this bombshell until then. So I called him and I was like, you know, I know you don't like spoilers, but like, can I pretty please share this, because I have to share it with somebody, because nobody else I know would appreciate that 17 years later a sequel, I mean pseudo sequel, because it's not like he was in the whole movie, but a sequel to Unbreakable was made. Yeah. And so like, man,
because like me, like Zach knew like I love the movie Unbreakable, and I remember it because Zach always brings up they call me Mr. Glass, and if you haven't seen Unbreakable, there's something really wrong with you at this point. But he broke down the whole movie, and at the very end, super spoilers, Bruce Willis shows up, and like there's people talking about the guy with the split personality. They're like, man, that guy kind of reminds me of
the guy in the wheelchair who was
terrorizing the city. And then Bruce Willis's character, which is in Unbreakable, who's the superhero, he's like, yeah, they call him Mr. Glass. And I remember seeing that, and I was just like, oh, fuck yeah!
Oh, hell yeah!
Oh, hell yeah! And the funny thing is like, Monica, like, I had to somehow convince her to watch.
Yeah, we talked.
Yeah. I had to somehow convince her to watch Unbreakable before I took her to see Split, because I knew Split was attached to Unbreakable, and I wanted to be like something that super flowed or whatever.
That's why I was telling you on the phone. I was like, just tell her, you know, you want to go see this M. Night Shyamalan movie, so tonight you want to watch one of his old favorite ones of M. Night Shyamalan, and then just play Unbreakable, so then she could be like, oh, too. Yeah. which begs the question, how did that go?
I don't remember, like...
Oh,
she liked the movie. I'm not saying she didn't. What happened was, it was like, let's just stay home and watch a movie tonight. She's like, okay, which one? I'm like, you ever seen Unbreakable? I think it was something along those lines. Yeah. And she's like, no, I don't think so. Or maybe she's seen it, but she didn't remember it or whatever. I was like, okay, let's watch it. So we're watching it. And the whole time I'm geeking out because I want to see Split. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. So bad. And then at the end, she's like, oh, yeah, that was pretty good. I'm like, okay, tomorrow we're going to go see Split.
I heard that's pretty good. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's made by the same director. I don't know.
I don't know. It might have I don't know. I heard nothing.
Yeah, so bottom line before we move on is please go see Split. It's a comic book movie or a superhero movie. It's not a perfect film by any means, but oh my god, the characters that guy comes up with or that he acts with, and I'll tell you now, it'll give you a creepy feeling because it's like there's a point where you're like feel yourself relating to the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
You find yourself relating to him. You're like, man, like this guy has some mental issues, and his therapist, bless her heart, like believes in him and supports him, and like you feel like, man, like maybe she can get to him, and then it gets to the part where she finds out that he is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, like beyond her help. But at that point, it's too fucking late. So
I'll see it one day.
Yeah,
when it's out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, I will even like if I have to because I'm gonna buy it when it comes out. I'll just bring it over and you can watch it there or whatever on your TV. So so the other thing I kind of wanted to bring up because I'm sure you got a lot of stuff that you kind of want to bring up too.
Not really.
Is I finally sat down to play Stick of Truth to get prepared for the Fractured Butthole coming out this year, which is tough to say out loud. And oh my god, it's more fun than I even expected. Like, just like the fun, like you've been playing Yakuza 0, and you were telling me how you play a lot of the side missions, and the side missions can trap you in. And you're like, oh my god, I got to go back and do some of the main missions. I forgot I'm even doing something.
Yeah.
Well, my gameplay for Fractured Butthole has been kind of the same, where I've been doing like a shit ton of like the side missions.
Yeah. Because
they're like fun and they're interactive in a different way. And then I'm like, oh crap, I got to go back into the main mission.
See, the good thing about that though, that game's not very long. I don't know if you beat it yet, but it's as opposed to most like JRPG style games, you know, with that kind of battle system or whatever, or RPGs in general. I guess from all reports that I heard back when the game came out 3-4 years ago, something like that.
Yeah.
It's not that long, and it's like because of that, with those side quests in that game, like it makes it to where it's like the perfect length for an RPG.
Yeah.
Like you're upgrading, you do the side quest, you get back on the main quest, you do a side quest, you get back, and like that's one of the things I remember. Like me, I have no interest in South Park. I don't think it's funny in the least. Like I think it's a cool idea they have for this game and the next game.
Yeah.
But the characters annoy me so much that like that's just not something I'm going to experience.
Yeah.
But I like when somebody says that a game has perfect pacing. And basically everybody agreed that because of that, with those side missions and hopping back on, it had good pacing.
That's what I like the most about it. And the combat, of course. I'm a JRPG nutbag. And so it's turn-based, you know, and then they have like different summons that you can unlock or whatever. It's not a perfect game. The thing I hate is like for your summons, like you can only use one a battle, and then you have to wait the next day to use it again. Or the way it's really strange how they put it together, but it's so balanced that you rarely need the summons to be fair, and sometimes I just use the summons to watch the stupid little fun thing that they have happen or whatever. So that was like the other thing I wanted to bring up is like I kind of now Stick of Truth is like more of like a fantasy quest type thing that they have going on. It's almost like a Game of Thrones if you watch that show. I don't really, so maybe...
It's based on the World of Warcraft.
Yeah, it's like a World of Warcraft. Yeah, it's like World of Warcraft. And then the next one's going to be about comic books. Like it's like a hero type story or whatever. So, but yeah. So how does Yakuza going for you?
Well, actually, like, man, I really wish I forgot to tell you this when we were... Like, we usually have dinner before we record the podcast. There's an old school... Somebody made an old school JRPG type game for the PS4, and apparently it's actually pretty awesome. It's like I don't know, like I can't remember what it's called. I just want to say it on the podcast in case I forget again.
Yeah, and then because I always listen to these things again, then maybe I can look it up.
Because it just came out like 2 weeks ago, I think. But it's like a full size game, and it is an old school JRPG, and I forgot to mention it because I figured you'd be interested in that.
Yeah. Well, I forgot the dog just broke into the room. It's
yeah. Hold on.
So, no, the funny thing about that though is like this was kind of like a side comment I was going to bring up like later, but I guess I can bring it up now. Is the way the PlayStation Store is kind of looking. It's becoming more of a desolate wasteland.
And it's unfortunate.
Yeah.
Because
there's been some videos coming out, and I'm not sure how many people were, but the PlayStation Store, before some of these things happened, did have indie games, but it seemed like there was indie games with a little bit of actual gameplay.
Yeah.
And a little bit of actual, like, it looked like somebody had QC stamped on it. You know what I mean?
It looked like things that were actually worth people's money if they were interested in. Or at least, like, a solid effort. Even if, like, people generally didn't like the game, it was a game you could imagine being on a store shelf or in a download market where you're like, you know what, maybe I'll give it a shot one day if there's nothing else to play.
Yeah, and they're usually, like, fairly cheap. Like, $10, $20, $4, depending on what type of game it is. Well, recently, Sony, for some reason, on their PlayStation Market, is allowing crap. I mean, more or less, like, crap plague their system. And here's the thing, it's a double-edged sword, but I don't like it. I understand that they need to make money. Sony has been producing a lot of movies that have been tanking in the box office, so I can see them allowing like these publishers that have no idea how to even make a game put shit on their store, sell it to try to get some of that extra revenue from people.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
but
nobody's going to get it. Yeah, nobody's going to buy it.
And then, like, by doing so, nobody's going to buy those games, so you're not getting any money. And on top of that, people have less faith in your curation of your store. Mm-hmm. Like, sure, it's not as bad as Steam, or definitely not as bad as, like, the phone marketplace. But, like, it's not worth it. And outside of, like, so a lot of people, I always thought, like, Farming Simulator 2015, 16, 17 were just a joke. People genuinely enjoy playing those.
Yeah.
But they also make for good, funny YouTube videos for some people. Like, I can't stand people like PewDiePie. I can't stand YouTube Let's Plays in general, even though I do some here and there.
Yeah, even though we do.
But I can't stand like, oh my god, this game's so fun. Oh, this is crazy. Look how stupid this is.
Yeah.
I can't stand that shit. And so I understand that those games exist on Steam for people to, play those and laugh at them, and then they'll make some sales by people wanting to get drunk and have fun with their buddies playing them. But, like, leave it on Steam. Like, I buy a console, so it's like you cut out all the fat.
Yeah.
Like, I miss out on a lot of things because I'm on a console, a lot of smaller indie games that are really good. But also, at the same time, the indie games that are really good, really worth your money, generally do end up on the PlayStation.
Yeah.
But at this rate, like, and this isn't recent. This has been going on for the past year now.
Yeah.
If you go back through the list,
it seems like it's getting progressively, like, it's like the floodwaters, you know what I mean? Like, at first you have, like, a little stream, and now it's just like, you know what I mean?
If they can put their mobile port on the console, why can't we? And then now we have, like, one-button games on the fucking console that, like, don't make sense on a console.
Yeah.
And
here's the messed up part about most of it is, like, I can almost, like, be like, all right, you're trying to give more indie people more, reflection on your system or more, like, appearance on your system. But here's the jacked up thing about it all is the games that are on there, they're charging more than what you would have charged for from the mobile platform or from the Steam store. Like, the Tiger game, I can't remember what it's called.
Life of Black Tiger.
Life of Black Tiger. It was free in the mobile game. It was free on mobile, but now they're charging like $10, $15 for you to play at the PlayStation store. It's like, you fucking assholes.
And the thing that makes me feel bad is because, like me, I spend too much time reading articles, listening to podcasts, all that stuff to do with gaming. So I'm, like, super well informed, and as I was explaining to my brother, I don't generally read reviews to, like, determine if I'm going to buy a game or not.
Yeah.
I just look at, like, reviews to, like, see what kind of features I didn't know about, or changes they might have made since, like, a beta posted. And then also, like, if I'm looking forward to a game and it's just broken, then I won't buy it.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of consumers who aren't like that, who might see something as like, it could be like a 10-year-old kid and, Mom, Dad, there's a game about a black tiger. I like tigers. And they buy this piece of crap game.
And they have the unfortunate troubles of trying to...
And it's a downloadable game, which means no refunds.
Yeah. I wonder if they'll ever fix that. You would think that in history, I'm hoping, like, through time, like, where you can resell a digital thing. I don't know how they'll do it, necessarily.
They thought about it, and consumers were like, no, that's stupid. Why would I give up my license? And, like, people who worked in the gaming industry, it's like, you motherfuckers get your games for free. Like, look, I have a lot of respect for a lot of, like, people who work in the games industry, like, reviewers and stuff. But those are the ones who are, like, try to come down to the level of the gamer. They don't look at a game strictly as, like...
art or something?
Yeah, they look at it as, like, look, you gotta pay money for these things. You know what I mean? And that's what reviews should be about. Is this game worth your time and your money? Mm-hmm. There's other reviewers who are just like, is this a well-crafted masterpiece or is it a piece of poo-poo? Find out next on IGN. Like, that doesn't help anybody. And these guys get their games for free. And then they'll sit there and bitch that they shouldn't let you resell your digital content. It's like, me? I would totally do that. I have a bunch of games that, like, I downloaded, I beat. Even if you only give me $5 for, whatever. I'm not going to touch it again anyways.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'll sell my license.
I think there's, like, a market for it, too. Like, I think people would enjoy, like... Because then, if it's digital, I think the money could still go to the original content creators, somehow.
Even if it didn't. Like, I don't care who gets the money, but, like...
Sony.
Because, like...
Stop making Ghostbuster movies.
Yeah, once again, developers always complain that they don't make enough money. Like, these guys get to make games for a living, and they make 4,000 times more than I do. Yeah. And that's not enough for them to make a living because they work at a developer in San Francisco. Well, guess what? You can live out of San Francisco and commute to work and make a video game and contract out, work off-site. Like, there's all kinds of things you people can do, but you act like the world's against you and you deserve more for your art.
I kind of wonder what things are like now compared to they used to be, because I always heard, like, back in the day, publishers got pushed more than they kind of do now. You know what I mean? Like, if you watch some of those history videos of, like, people that came out with Nintendo games, like, how, like, they would be pushed to, like, create shit, like, so fast. You know what I mean? Like, and that was, like, on a cart-based system or whatever. So, I don't know. It's interesting to me, like, how things are kind of going with the Sony store, and now I want to go back and check the Microsoft store to see if that's kind of...
it's just as bad.
It's just as bad there.
If not worse, because they also have early access.
So if anything, it's like Nintendo is like the only one, like...
No, they're the worst, because as you told me, they're selling ROMs that aren't up to snuff.
Yeah, that's true. Like,
on top of that, they have a ton of mobile ports. They don't even
weird.
get the good indies.
Yeah.
They get all the garbage.
Yeah. I had the Nintendo store for the Wii U. Obviously, the Switch hasn't came out yet. And I read this article because, like, I would download a game like Tecmo Bowl, for example. And Tecmo Bowl has, like, a lot of bright colors to it. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? The gameplay is all basically the same. That's, like, nothing. And when I downloaded on the Wii U, it looked like it was, like, darker. It almost made it, like, not as much fun to play because it seemed like it wasn't, like, dark as in, like, grainy. It just wasn't as bright and colorful. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So I was just like, what is going on with this? Well, I watched this video how the way they emulated the games for, like, the Nintendo shop, it's actually less than you would get from a freaking cartridge on your Nintendo. I was like, how do you fuck that up? I'm like, so you're telling me, I'm lucky enough to still have my Nintendo. I'm like, so you're telling me if I can get it to work, my Nintendo version from 1985 is better than the version you put on the thing, which was probably in the 2000 something. You know what I mean?
Which, once again, that is what we were talking about earlier with, like, Nintendo fanboys will pay for garbage over
no matter what.
And over again.
Yeah.
Because they're fanboys. Because, well, I've stood by Nintendo this entire time, and it's like, okay, so I've stood by this house, and even though it's on fire, I'm just going to stand next to this house.
Yeah, you got to keep the house. Or buy the house's next thing.
Yeah, like, run away from the house, put out the fire, collect your insurance check. Like,
yeah, I wish I could understand the hype behind the Switch. Like, not to get into a Switch conversation. I mean, we can if we want, but because I mean, I understand its premise, and they're still trying to get like movement controls into certain
Which
games.
is stupid.
So,
Let it die.
It's like that's like it was almost like the same like with Microsoft, how they wouldn't let go of their Kinect. That's kind of like Nintendo's rolling right now. It's like they won't let go of their motion controls, even though nobody's asking for motion controls. There might be like 2 or 3 people who's like, I need the motion control, you know.
And it's weird because like people bitch at Sony for like abandoning hardware that like isn't succeeding.
Yeah.
You abandoned it too fast. Like I purchased this and then a year or two later.
Yeah, they dropped the PlayStation Move like a hot habit. The only way you use the PlayStation Move now is with the stupid VR thing, but that's a whole different conversation.
But like I think it's good. Like it's smart because then they cut their losses. Mm-hmm. And they're the only console that has its own fucking VR right now. Like me, I don't care about VR. Like I've used it. I don't like it. I don't see how.
I still think it's going to be a fad.
Based on sales, it is.
Yeah, I still think it's so. Can you remember in history how many times they tried to do VR? It's ridiculous.
Yeah, and this whole push for this is like, well, the technology is finally here. No, if I have to have wires coming out of the back of my head, have to have a camera set up in front of me, have to make sure I have enough room to move around, like, because you can't put an overlay to where I can see what's around me. Like, until that technology is here and it's perfect, until VR is perfect, it's not worth it.
No.
You can spend a decade researching it if you have to, but until it's perfect, it's not worth it. Like, there's a lot of things, like the PlayStation 4. Could they have waited another year or 2 to release it?
Probably.
Probably. It would be more powerful? Probably. Did they need to? No, because people were excited for a system and it works. PlayStation VR, as I said, you know, it's good they abandoned so they can move on and try other things. The problem with that is, though, alright, they developed this. It's not good. A lot of people are having problems with the VR. There's not enough games and not enough interesting
There's really only like one full game, which we'll talk about here in a minute, but yeah.
Yeah, which people said is like, you know, increases the, you know, atmosphere and the stuff like that, but at the same time, it's obvious it's not necessary.
Yeah, you don't need that for the atmosphere of the game.
Yeah. And I'm totally with Christopher Nolan. If you need 3D or VR or any other kind of gimmick to make your movie or your video game more immersive, then you're already fucked up.
Oh, yeah? He said that?
Yeah. Have you ever seen a 3D Christopher Nolan movie?
I can't think of one.
No.
I really can't think of one.
And that was because, like, when that big 3D craze was going on,
mm-hmm.
and he was making, like, The Dark Knight and Inception and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's like, no.
Could you imagine watching Inception 3D? I think you would, like, just throw up.
I mean, I'm an old man. I'm 26 years old, but if you were to talk to me, I sound like I'm old. Like,
you're from Egyptian times.
I don't want motion controls. I don't want VR.
Yeah.
I want a controller in my hand, a TV in front of me, and I want to experience my games that way. I want to look at a screen and experience a movie story that way.
Yeah, because a lot of people wearing the VR, they say the most you can play it is maybe a few hours or whatever, but then you get all sweaty and you have to like take it off and it like exhaust you. It's like, I want a game to exhaust me, like if it is, which is a different kind of exhaust, but from like the experience, not because I'm wearing this big old thing on my head. You know what I mean?
Like, if I wanted to get exhausted, I would go to work or have sex.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not, or work out, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, I don't go to video games and movies to, like, get my heart rate going. And
please, like...
No, I do that in my downtime to relax. And, like, sure, I'll play games like Bloodborne or Neo to get my blood pumping.
Yeah, but you're not exhausted, like...
No, it's more like mental dexterity thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not, I'm getting sick and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Technology.
So, moving on, awkward segue. I forgot to bring this up. I made a list, and I left the list at home of things, that I wanted to talk about, but Resident Evil 7. Oh my god, the hype was real. And it paid off, in my opinion. It's definitely not a game for everyone or whatever, but, like, if you listen to our last podcast, you can tell when I knew Resident Evil 7 was kind of the game for me and how much I put forth. Like, literally, all Capcom had to do was do something. You just had to meet me halfway there. I was invested. You know how you can get invested into things? Like
that makes me sad, too. That's why I was happy this game lived up to it, because, like I try to control my hype so much.
Yeah,
like,
so do I usually. Yeah.
But you were, like, balls deep in this game's mouth before it even, like, had a proper... I mean, it wasn't even a demo for the full game. That was, like, the side story.
Even the demo wasn't fully complete. Like, because they released...
like 3 versions?
Yeah, it was, like, 3 versions of the demo. Like, when they first released the demo, you could only get the negative ending. When they released the demo in its second tier... I think...
Actually, that would be the 3rd tier, because the 1st tier was... This game got announced, technically, as a VR game for like a year or 2 before the game got announced as Resident Evil 7.
Yeah.
Did you ever hear about the kitchen demo?
Yeah.
That was...
They had that set up at the G-Stop when I was there.
The kitchen demo?
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's on the VR Worlds for PlayStation.
Yeah.
So it was actually... That was a demo before the... reveal,
yeah.
And then it was a demo.
Needless to say, even for the stupid demo, I beat it every way you can. I even went a step further. This is disgusting. I went a step further and found the Easter egg in the game, which is like you find a coin and it says you're the best or something like that. I can't remember exactly. Yeah. Okay. And I went to finally play it. Picked it up at midnight release, which I'm going to rant about that here too, if that's okay with you. I'm going to take the couple minutes.
I've been waiting for that. Like,
oh my god. Let me get the goods and the bad of Resident Evil 7 out of the way first, please, and then I'll rant about this bullshit.
You speak your piece, I'll speak mine, and how this is kind of going in an unfortunate direction. And then we'll hop into the GameStop story. Okay. I got bad news for you.
For what? Resident Evil 7?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've already experienced it, so... Anyways. So here's my negatives about the game, because it's not perfect, and so I wanted to get the negatives out of the way first, and then my positives out of the way, which I feel is fair. Mm-hmm. So, negatives, the facial capture is not perfect. It's very strange. Like... And it can almost demercify you, because, like, the whole game, like, it gives you a creepy feeling. It's Resident Evil's, you have to unlock certain things, lock it certain ways, blah, blah, blah. But then, like, a character will go to talk to you, and I even told Monica, and it's, like, this is bad for audio, but it's, like, it's almost watching, like, a old Japanese Godzilla movie. Like, their mouths would be moving, all of a sudden you'll hear, like, it's not that bad, but it's pretty bad. So that's one negative. And number 2 is the frickin' loading times. Redonkulous at certain points. Redonkulous. It got to the point Monica fucking noticed how long it was. Because, like, you'll go to watch a VHS tape. Sorry, I'm kind of going off here. And it loads. Well, while it's loading, it has a video reel noise to it. So it literally goes beep. And for a short period of time, it makes sense. Because it goes and loads up, you know what I mean? But no, when the stupid little loading line, and I think I showed this in my video, is going, you just hear a beep. Even Monica was like, what's with that noise? And I, like, muted the TV, and I was like, sorry, babe. You know what I mean? And the third thing was, alright, this is my biggest pet peeve. I can forgive the other stuff. No game is perfect. That's my favorite thing about gaming, is nothing's perfect. And anything can be subsequential. You know what I mean? But this is my biggest pet peeve. And this is another military thing. I apologize. But, so, there's inventory management, which is whatever. But let me give you the best example I can give. So, like, let's say your inventory's full. You can only carry 6 things, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say it's a wrench, a knife, a gun, bullets, or whatever, health, or whatever. Mm-hmm. Well, if your inventory's full, and, like, let's say you're out of ammunition for the shotgun. Let's say you get a shotgun. Spoiler. Sorry. There's a point where you get a shotgun. Your inventory's full, and you have no bullets. If you find shotgun shells, you can't just pick them up and put them in your weapon. Like you would in real freaking life. You know what I mean? You literally have to find something you want to drop so you can pick up those ammo shells and put it in your weapon that way.
Oh, it's a Resident Evil game.
Yeah, but that's so... I'm sorry. I thought they would fix something like that because that's so dumb.
No, that's like we had a conversation before Resident Evil came out that I think inventory management is stupid. It should not be in any game. What they should really do is what most shooters have done lately. You can carry this gun. This is your ammo limit. You can carry this amount of healing items. That's it. You're not playing the brick game. Mother.
Yeah. Well, even for, like, for this one, like, you can get backpacks to, like, increase it or whatever.
Yeah.
But
Resident
I know
Evil's
it's
always done
it's
that.
a Resident Evil thing, but it's like, I thought for this they would have, like, adjusted some of that because they wanted to base it into more of, like, a real world type thing. You know what I mean? Even though it's not necessarily real world or whatever. So that's my negative. My positives, get off of that soapbox for a minute. My positives, it's as scary as advertised to me, but fear is like, the thing I always say about fear is it's not an exact science to it. You know what I mean?
Well, and the way I explained it is like a lot of the times when it comes to fear of a fictional thing, you have to meet the game halfway.
Yeah.
Like me, I don't watch horror movies or play horror games, which I don't play horror games because they never have good stories.
This one does.
No, it doesn't.
In my opinion.
No. It's the same. Anyways. I agree with you that fear is like very subjective.
Yeah.
But like especially fear is definitely you have to go into it anticipating you have to want to get scared to be scared by something.
So my favorite thing about another thing about this game is it takes a lot from horror movie tropes, and you can tell. But it's so funny because the first guy, which is the dad, he acts a lot like Jack Nicholson from The Shining. I said this in my video that I wouldn't say it then, but I'm saying it now. The second character it's the mom, and she's more like an example is the lady from I can't think of the movie where she bashes the rider's legs in. She's kind of like him.
Oh, Misery.
In Misery, she kind of acts, but she has like a bug thing going on, so it's a little strange. It's a little strange.
It's Resident Evil.
It's Resident Evil. And then the third guy that you go after, he's more like the Saw character. And I wish I got to spend more time within his traps because his traps are cool. Like, it's a lot of fun. I love that kind of stuff where you're like trying to figure out how to get from point A to point B. And then the final character, she reminded me so much of Alma from Fear. It was so cool because I was even... I'm not going to tell you who it is. It's a girl or whatever is the final one.
Look, we've already spoiled a bunch. Like you already said, first guy is daddy, second person
well,
is
the
mom.
last one is the grandma, which that's my favorite. But she turns into the young girl or a kid, and then you find out that your girlfriend is a horrible, or your wife, excuse me.
I thought you were going to say it's a horror house.
Well, she is a whore for bringing you into the fucking house like an asshole. But you find out your wife was babysitting this chick. And the little girl's a little demon asshole like Alma is, and basically killing everyone by mucking them up. Like literally, like
the muckety muck.
Yeah, like mucks you up or whatever. It's so funny. But yeah, I'm happy about it. It's not a perfect game, which I'm fine with, to be honest with you. I've been going around playing it on easy with the brightness turned all the way up just so I can collect everything, and then I'm probably gonna sell it. Like,
what did you beat it on the first time?
Normal. I beat it on normal, regular brightness, or whatever.
Well, I was just
my time, I think I shared it on our Facebook page, was at 10 hours and 35 minutes or something. Which, listening to different people, that's kind of like an average thing. So I was actually surprised because I died a shitload of tons, but that was mainly because...
And there's also a trophy to beat the game in 4 hours.
Less than 4 hours, yeah. If you beat the game, which is possible, I watched somebody do it. It was like fucking weird. If you beat the game in less than 4 hours, you get a trophy, which is whatever. But yeah,
like I could explain why I have no interest in the game.
That's fine.
Like me, I love like the Resident Evil games. I tried to go back to one, can't do it. It's, for me, like, when it comes to nostalgia, most of the time I feel like you should leave nostalgia in the past.
Yeah, sometimes.
As a memory.
Yeah.
You know, and I tried the remake of Resident Evil 1, and I'm like, nope. this is silly as fuck. Like, I died even though I shot this fucking zombie 30 times and stabbed it, and I didn't save at the, first typewriter, so I had to, like...
redo everything.
But Resident Evil 4 will always be in my top 10. That's one of the greatest, most well-designed, well-paced, like, interesting games ever made, and one of the most important games for the third-person or shooter genre in general. That'll always be up there. Even though technically I can look now and be like, well, Dead Space 2 is almost like the perfection of Resident Evil 4. Mm-hmm. Like, that mix of action, horror, like, because that game, the stuff
and
that
isn't there RPG elements in Mass Effect as well?
Yeah, because you're upgrading weapons, you're upgrading your suit, you're upgrading, you're all kinds of stuff. I could play Dead Space 2 right now for like the third or fourth time, however many times I've beat it, and still enjoy it. I liked Resident Evil 5 for what it was. It was very much just straight up action. Resident Evil 6 was a broken mess. I appreciate when games change, to become fresh again, to do something new and different. But what I don't like is when it's a gimmick. And to me, I feel like Resident Evil 7 could have been in third person and it would have been the same exact experience. And the problem I have with it is I watched parts from every section of the game, the different, like, bad people. Having to run around in a circle in a building to get the boss creature that you can't kill to not be next to you when you go to activate a puzzle, literally, that's bad game design.
Yeah, but I've been watching people see. That's why I want to do my own gameplay and, like, stream all of it, because, like,
but it happened in yours too, where you went to, like, go into that room and you're like, we'll come back to this later because you had the guy behind you, and I'm like, I get if you're, like, putting yourself into the shoes, you're like, no, this is actually horrifying is what it is. But for me, like, where I can't get as much of a suspension, like, I can't put myself in those shoes as well, to me, that's just bad game design.
Okay.
That's, like, give me an ability to hit a switch, shut the door. Because the thing that drives me nuts is they have that to where you have to get them off your trail to get to a puzzle. But then there's safe rooms where you walk into them and some reason
and you're fine
they
and
can't
get
open
in there.
a fucking door.
Yeah, which is
so
funny.
why not in the puzzle rooms just do the same thing? You walk in the room with the puzzle, which, like, the two I've seen puzzle wise,
they're not very hard,
and they're also in a room. Yeah, because that's the other thing. Don't even have those puzzles then. Find the item you need, get the item, open the door, expand the game somewhere else. Because I feel like all that is padding. Because if you have a trophy to where you beat the game in less than 4 hours, most of that time is going to be spent trying to get those guys off you and then doing the item management you're talking about. Mm-hmm. That thing that you were frustrated about, picking, I'm going to put this plant down so I can pick this ammo up, put the ammo in the gun, pick the plant back up.
But you can't even pick the plant back up. It's gone.
God. I
told you it's not a perfect game, but I liked it a lot.
And here's the thing: is like.
So this was where we differ. Oh my gosh.
But this is the bad thing though, because critics are in love with this game.
I don't understand that much love with it. I like it a lot.
It got a 10 from, like, multiple outlets.
Well, that's because they sugarcoated these companies. Did you hear what they did? Capcom?
No.
They're so much fun now.
Oh, you're talking about the YouTube thing? Like, send this video to Giant Bomb.
No. They were giving out goodie bags to companies.
Oh, everybody does that.
And that's why I went to the midnight release, because I wanted a goodie bag.
Everybody does that.
Which we should get that in a second, but...
Yeah, that'll... But the thing is like... I feel like most people, normal gamers, are kind of on my side with this aspect, that, like, the first-person thing is a gimmick. The unkillable bosses that follow you, like Nemesis, which Nemesis is widely regarded as, like, the worst Resident Evil. Like, all this doesn't add up to me. It's like...
I had a lot of fun with it. I loved it.
Which I'm happy about.
Yeah.
But, like, to me, like, I would never play this game because, like... And I started thinking about pre-ordering it because my brother was so excited we could talk about it, but... Then every video I saw, including the one you made, I was like, no, that's bad. And then that whole thing, and then thinking about that. All right, you have a trophy to beat it in 4 hours. You got to run away from these bosses. You have all this item management. There's not many side quests. It's more so like finding hidden collectibles that like get you items, like destroying bobbleheads.
The bobblehead thing.
Ugh.
I'm trying to figure out what the bobblehead thing is, anyways. But
it does something.
I forgot what it was.
I think it unlocks you a special gun on your New Game Plus.
You get that anyways. Because if you
well,
watch...
not that one. Which you know who that's based off of? What gun that is? It's Albert Wesker. Think about the name of the gun.
I'm not very good at this. I fucked up with the Satan thing.
It's like AL something. Oh, Samuel Hayden?
Yes, Samuel Hayden. Sam. Well, watch her. I think it was episode 13 or something. 12 or 13.
But the thing is like, I feel like most normal gamers are with me that like a game that's short and padded out and is a horror game at a full price of $60, when most horror games these days are really good ones like Soma and Outlast, $20 to $30.
Outlast is not that good.
To me, I feel like that game would scared me more than Resident Evil.
Because Outlast makes you completely hopeless. Resident Evil 7, you can at least do something.
You can shoot at things, but they still get back up. That's the thing.
It's fine.
Like, if
I'm glad that you...
Like,
you know,
well, no, what I'm saying is, like, that whole Terminator thing
to T-1000
would be awesome as an action game.
Yeah, T-1000.
I would love it if you were shooting at things more and there wasn't just one other type of enemy.
Oh...
I've only seen one other type of enemy. Is there more than just
the muck creatures?
Is that the only other enemy in the game?
Well, you got the 4 main characters, and you got the mucks, and then you got the stupid little girl, and that's pretty much it.
See, this game sounds like it should have gotten 5. Like, if I was without playing it, but all these details, that's a 5
out of 10
tops.
or whatever.
Yeah,
I would give it a 7.
But I think you would give it an 8. You're just saying 7 because I'm being a jerk toward your game.
No, I'm being legit 7 because you have to understand, I did not like those loading times. Yeah. Because I was able to separate myself. Like, I thought some of that stuff was like funny too, but I was able to separate myself and get within the character. You know what I mean? Where I was like, oh my god, this guy's fucking following me. I got to get out of here. Blah 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 blah. But then I go to do something, like watch a video to increase the story or see like kind of what's going on, and then like the loading time, I'd just be like, okay, there goes like, because you get like that natural high from fear or whatever. I'm like, oh okay, there goes that or whatever. And I told Monica before, I was like, I would give it a 7, and I'm like, I'm mainly replaying it just so I can. I'm not gonna
get your $60 worth, because I looked it up and there's no free DLC.
When you beat the game, maybe I'll record it right before I beat it. When you beat the game, it says there's a game that you get for free, like a bonus little mission you get for free with Chris Rosho. Spoilers.
But did they announce when it's coming out?
I can't remember I didn't write it down.
But it's like not released yet.
Not on there, no.
So the completion DLC is coming out after the DLC that's coming out 2 weeks after the game.
But DLC is optional.
DLC is optional, but like, it's that Capcom thing.
Capcom.
And it's the EA conversation where you were saying, you know, you pay for this season pass. Like, they're asking you to pay for a season pass, and not only is the DLC, it comes out 2 weeks after the game came out.
Yeah, people were pissed about that.
In the game.
Yeah.
That's, like, I don't care if you have it done and ready to go and do it a month and a half out just so you don't get those remarks.
Get a month of gameplay.
They're doing that. They held that stuff out so that people wouldn't trade in the fucking game.
Yeah.
That's why they did that. That content
which I'm going
was
to, because
done.
I got to put mine towards Horizon Zero Dawn. So,
but the last thing I'll say about it is what I was saying with most gamers agree with me, because that game is not selling.
As much as, well, yeah.
It's the highest reviewed Resident Evil in forever. Lowest sales.
Yeah, some of those reviews are weird to me because it's like they ignored the things that I noticed, and I feel like I'm more casual nowadays than I used to be. You know, obviously time and adulthood or whatever. But it's like, how did you not say anything about this? Or how did you not say anything about that?
All the written reviews.
Got a damn goodie bag.
Yeah, all the written reviews wouldn't say anything about the problems I'm talking about, but then you'd watch the same person who wrote the review do a video review or a let's play, and they'd show those issues, but they wouldn't comment on them.
Or they say it loosely. It's weird. Sometimes that stuff weird. So, anyways, leading on to my horrible adventure at midnight release for Resident Evil 7. So, I've been to probably 4 or 5 midnight releases in the time of midnight releases or whatever. And I remember the first ones I went with you at, where, like, at the midnight release, you would get something. Even at that Batman game, remember they just gave us, like, a card for a free song to listen to? I don't know if you remember that, but, like, you would get something. Or you'd be actually put into, like, a specific number or something like that.
GameStop had to stop doing that.
Yeah, which I don't know why, and maybe you can explain it to me.
It makes you seem like you're in cahoots with game publishers and developers. You're trying to push their games more than other games, because then we'd have midnight launches where 2 games were coming out at the same time, and you'd only have like midnight launch prizes for that game. Some stores still would do some kind of raffle giveaway.
Yeah.
But then when I talked about the Watch Dogs one, it was more like, these people are here to buy the game. We're not here to sell copies of the game, but we're going to give them a fun time while they wait. So we had free food, we had bands.
Yeah.
It wasn't like we were giving, Watch Dogs posters out.
Yeah.
So now it's literally, and on top of that, they didn't need to do it anymore. Because this whole,
pre-order having it now has become more of a...
Yeah, people are like, I need to play it the minute it comes out.
Okay, maybe I'm not so angry. Because I understand what you're saying, but...
It still sucks. It's cool to go to an event and get some kind of, I was there,
Yeah,
but they don't have to do that. Now they just give you a game and no pre-order bonuses or anything. You just,
here you go, here's your receipt. Because, when I went in, they gave me a group number, and the manager there, he sees me in there, quite frequently. Sometimes I go in there just to walk around, you know what I mean, get out of the house or whatever. And he put me in a group, and I was one of the first. Literally, my ticket receipt said 6 o'clock, because you had to be there at 6. I was like, dang, if I get here first, maybe I get something. I saw online where Capcom was doing at certain stores, little bags.
Capcom was there.
Yeah, probably. So I was like, man, maybe I'll get something, a poster or something,
Mm-hmm.
So the time came, whatever, for us to get our games. And there was a bunch of younger kids in there, a few adults or whatever. And I'm just thinking, I'm like, oh my God. And my PT, I started flaring up a little bit because I sometimes I'm not comfortable around groups sometimes. And Monica's like, I'll wait in this car and you just go get it when it comes more towards 9 o'clock. I was like, okay. So I walked in, it was 8:50. And everybody's cluttered everywhere, you know what I mean? And then the manager, I'm not going to say his name because I don't know if it was appropriate. He's like, all right, everybody get in your groups. The line starts here. And I was standing kind of in front of him while there's this bigger, hefty kid with red hair.
Oh my God, he goes there now? He used to always go to the Portage store.
This big boy. Not big boy as in muscles, this big boy as in fatness.
Also, to be fair, Is
it something? No, this guy seemed like he was...
No, he is. He doesn't seem like it, but he is.
Okay.
So you should probably pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes.
I know exactly who you're talking about, and his name is Big Red, and he's got mental deficiencies.
Are you sure? Because he was with somebody?
Yeah,
if we're thinking about the same person?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying
They can find love,
That's
too.
fine. No, what I'm trying to say is... he wasn't the one who annoyed me. I was leading into something.
Okay.
I was just explaining.
As long as you don't attack Big Red.
No, I didn't care that he
bad.
was in front of me because he was the first person in front of me. So I was like, that's fine.
Okay.
But this is what happened. He was standing in front of me, and I was fine. I was like, whatever, because the line's right there. And I'm starting to realize I'm not going to get anything out of this. So A, I wasted my own time. B, I wasted Monica's time. And C, I'm just irritated.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then this skinny girl, who I hope doesn't have mental problems, Jesus Christ, or or issues.
You can say whatever you want about her. I don't know her.
This snaggletooth fucking lady.
Maybe I do.
She was skinny. She was like not skinny as in like good, but skinny as in scary. Probably should go see someone.
Did she have glasses?
No.
Okay, different one.
She's like, I'm with you to the redheaded kid or whatever, and she gets in front of him to be the first one in line, and then she proceeds to, and she says it to everyone. And here I am just sitting there just irritated as hell already. She's like, I'm with you. I'm with this guy. I'm being first in line. She's like, I deserve it because I've been here. I was here at 6 o'clock. And I was just like, oh, yeah? That's interesting. I looked down at my receipt. Said 6 o'clock. And I know damn well this younger lady was not there at 6 o'clock because I was there at 6 o'clock. And so we're going to go check out, and it's so funny because I could just feel myself. I'm heating, you know what I mean? I can't hide it, even though I'm trying to be as like kosher as possible. And she's like, "Yeah, I'm just glad, just talking nonsense out loud, you know what I mean?" Yeah. And she's like, "Do you guys want to come up here too?" And I was like looking at her in her face. I was like, "If that happens,
no,
riot." And I'm a pretty cool cat, when I can be.
I'm surprised they didn't kick her to the back of Group 6 in general.
Yeah, here's the funny thing. So we're getting up to the line to check out, and the manager looks at her tickets, and he's like, "This says Group 6." He's like, and gives her the game anyways, which I understood because at that point...
he was at his limit too, probably.
Yeah. I understood because at that point it was just pure douchiness, and then the ginger kid went, or the redheaded kid went, sorry.
He doesn't have a soul.
Damn, I apologize. Went, and then when I went, like the manager, like who's seen me a couple times, he's like, "I'm so sorry." It like checks me out. He's like, and he called me by my first name, which he's never done. Every time I've gone in there, never. But at this point, it was like one of those situations where he was like, "Have a good one, Jonathan." And I was just like, and I get in the car and I tell Monica, I was like, "Never again." She's like, "Why?" I'm like, "That girl." She's
I hated working midnight launches. Fucking hated it because it would always be, you'd have people like, we'd have all these rules, we'd go over them repeatedly, like, come up here, cash out your game so we can just hand them out, and you'd still have people in like Group 2, "Where's your receipt?" "I don't have it." "I didn't pay for it yet."
It's like, what did
then
you
need to go to the back of the... Well, I was here with him, so I figured I could... No. And then also, like if you would have lost that receipt that had your number on it, guess what? You don't get a game.
Yeah.
Like,
I know.
Then they tell you that straight up. The amount of people who would come up say that, because once the, thing is done, so then, back when it was actually every midnight launch was midnight. Even if a game technically on the PlayStation Store came out at 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, we would have to wait till midnight. You're already in for a longer night. And then a lot of the times, if you were a key holder, if you draw the short stick, you're opening in the morning.
Yeah.
So you're getting 3-4 hours of sleep, and then you're coming back to work another 8-hour shift.
At a game store, yeah.
We'd have people come up, so if they lose the receipt, okay, with their number or whatever, we have to wait till everybody else is taken care of. We have to go stand by the door, lock the door. We have to go one by one with each of them. And because it's a long process, but you can look up past transactions.
Verifications, yeah.
And it's not as simple as plug in, they'd have to remember which register they were at. They'd have to remember how they paid cash, credit, the amount they had to pay off and stuff.
Trades or whatever.
And scroll through until we saw something similar, click on that, and then it would bring up the name and go, "Okay, we'll give you your game."
Yeah.
It was a nightmare.
Yeah. And so I basically...
Fuck that girl, man.
Rounding it out, that girl did annoy me. And the worst is, she was horrible looking, probably decent for this gentleman or whatever, but it was mainly her voice was this piercing screech into my ear, like a pterodactyl or some shit. And I'm just like, it was one of those moments where like I just thought to myself, I'm like, I carried an M4 for all these people. You know what I mean? I'm like, why? So, anyway, so I'm not doing it anymore because A, there's no goodies unless like I know for a fact they're like, listen, if you pre-order and you come to the midnight release, we'll all give you like something. Like unless they tell me face to face, you know, that you will receive this.
Which you won't. They don't have to.
They'll never do that anymore. Yeah. I'm like, and after, you know, that situation and just like feeling like, ugh, I just like, I'm like, I am in the wrong place.
See, that's what bums me out too, is like, you really don't have to go to a midnight. Like, so I pre-ordered Yakuza 0 on the PlayStation Store, not like looking to see if GameStop had anything fancy. So I had it pre-ordered like a month out, like a month or so before it came out, and I was like thinking about getting Resident Evil as well and playing through that first, unless it was like a long game, then I wouldn't get it. So I already had it pre-ordered for a while, and then you know, you watch my video, you watch other videos, you're like, man, I want to try this. You go pick it up, you get a steel book, you get a card holder,
yeah.
You get cards like this fancy because it was like the business something edition.
Yeah, business edition.
I don't know if it came with DLC or whatever, but like me, I got like a, you know, wallpaper for the game, and that was it.
Yeah, because you did a digital or whatever. Yeah. By the way, Yakuza. Side note before we round this out, I told Zach it's my all-time favorite game already. Like jokingly, not being serious, but because it came with a practical item. Because like at my job, I had business cards. I'm like, oh my god, they gave me a business card holder. Mm-hmm. And it's just like a cheap little sticker on this metal piece, but I just thought it was like the coolest thing. I even brought it over here to show them, like, look at my business card holder.
And it's kind of cool because the like the what would you call it, decoration on it,
yeah,
is actually tied to a character in the game.
Yeah,
like.
Would be really cool is like when I go to an employer and I go to give him my card, if he recognizes it, like that'd just be so funny. He's like, oh.
He'd be like, Goro Majima.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh shit, I don't know.
That'd be awesome.
So
dude saw it, he's like, Goro Majima.
So we covered a lot of things. I know I probably missed something. Good heaven, yeah. But so we're at our hour, so I figure we get our final thoughts. Would you like to go first?
So currently playing Yakuza 0. We didn't touch on it much this week. I think part of me wants to wait till John actually plays the game, not the mini games.
I've been playing the mini games with Monica. It's so much fun.
Because I'm almost like I'm almost wondering if you're gonna go to play this game and just fucking hate it.
Yeah, that'd be horrible.
Like that's what I'm curious about. Because I'm in love with it, but
yeah.
So we'll talk about that more next week, which I'll be further into it by then. That next week, Neo comes out. I have that pre-ordered already. That I did a deep dive on was it last weekend or the weekend before? I think it was the weekend before. They had a final last chance beta for Neo. Mm-hmm. That game's awesome. It's like Dark Souls and Bloodborne, but samurai, which I think is the coolest. Like, I don't know what it is, but like for the past like 2 years, I've been so interested in Japanese culture, and I think part of that is because like there's some like principles and stuff that I've used to like help with my anxiety and depression. That's like Japanese, and so
my buddy's stationed over there, and
he's so lucky. That's so awesome.
Unfortunately, he's been having to do a lot of training lately, so he hasn't been able to have fun over there. But when he sends me pictures and videos, I just like want to go there.
Yeah, I want to go there so bad. Like I told Emily, like before I die, 1 year I will vacation for a week in Japan. Yeah, like
just long enough to get SARS or whatever they have.
What is it, 2003, John? Weirdo. You should tell him to send authentic ramen from Japan to you. Or like they have like pre-made, they're almost like TV dinners, but they're actually good in Japan.
Yeah. I mean, he sent me some games from Japan over, and it's awesome. It's so cool.
That's why like part of me wishes like, I wish I knew him.
Yeah.
So like I could get him to like send me like something cool like.
When he sent my favorite thing that he sent me that I didn't really like, but I thought it was so funny and cool, was those Godzilla cookies that he sent me. Yeah. It was just Fig Newtons. Sorry, I'm cutting off your final thought. All it was Fig Newtons with a Godzilla like stamp cooked into it or whatever. Tastes like shit, but I was like, this is so cool.
See, I wish I talked to him and knew him and could speak Japanese, because I'd be like, all right, man, I'll give you an extra $20. I'll pay for the full amount of the game. I'll pay for the full shipping. Please send me a copy of Persona 5. Because it's been out for like a few months in Japan already.
Oh, yeah?
And it was supposed to come out on February 14th in the US. And they pushed it back to, I can't remember now if it's April or May.
Because you can't interfere with Valentine's Day. Just can't do it.
I don't even know what happened, why it got delayed. Like, but I wish I could convince him to send me, like, especially if there was like a collector's edition.
Yeah. Well, by the time it got through customs, it'd probably come out here.
See, but I don't even care about the disc. I wish like there was like he found some store, like I wish I talked to him and he found some store and they had a Persona 5 collector's edition and he could send it to me. That way I could have the Japanese collector's edition and the Japanese version of the game. Not even play it, just have that on display. Because Persona.
Yeah, that's so like one of the cool things he sent me was this is to you, Rags. It's a Rob the Robot amiibo, but it's the Japanese version, and it's basically the same, but the packaging's all Japanese and shit like that. I'm like, that's so cool.
That's what I'm saying. So like, if I could get the Persona 5 collector's edition from Japan,
maybe I'll message him and see what he's up to.
That would. I feel like that would be really
I'd have to wire him money or something.
Yeah. You'd be like, for your brother? I don't know him.
Yeah, I don't know him.
But
I don't think you guys met. That's unfortunate.
I don't think so.
No.
I met the other guy at your birthday party.
I can't remember. That was a long time ago.
At Dave & Buster's?
Oh, Sheldon, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I always call them by their last names. Anyways, continue with your final thought. I keep on...
And then next week we'll talk about my worries about Horizon. But I'm still going to get it.
Yeah.
Because I had my slate of games like pre-ordered since December. That way I can have, I'm getting this, and this, not worry about like, when am I going to find a different game to play? Like, I have everything set up, it's budgeted out, so I don't have to worry about it or spend extra money.
That's good. My final thought, Horizon might be my last big game purchase for a while. We're saving up for a wedding, so that's fun. God, I can't remember what I was going to say. Oh, I wanted to take a picture of it and share it on our Facebook, but for some reason in this room, my brother has a Riddler figure that I got him, and he's sitting in kind of like a provocative manner, so I just had to bring it up to remind myself to take a picture of it.
Oh, we hang out sometimes.
Yeah, he's sitting kind of like the chick on, I don't know.
Well, he'd fit in on Gotham. Do you hear what they did on Gotham?
I haven't watched that show.
Apparently they made Penguin gay, and not just as...
Sorry.
Not is he just gay, but like he falls in love with the Riddler.
That's weird. Okay.
And then the Riddler meets a woman, and Penguin, who's now the mayor, is all butthurt. That show is so fucking stupid.
To continue my final thought, I still don't have Friday the 13th. It still has no release date, so I feel like as a listener, you're probably in on my pain at this point. And here's the best part about it. Oh yeah, I wanted to share this, so this will be my final thought. Here's the best part. When they first said that they don't have a release date, people were like, oh, okay, make sure it's good, make sure it's fine. But now, when they release information, people are starting to turn big time. You still have those people that...
Because the beta came out and it wasn't even that good.
Well, you still have those people who are like, oh, just make sure they get it done right, get it done on time, or not on time, obviously, but get it done right, blah, blah, blah. But you see, like, the top, 20 comments are like, at this point, just release it already. We don't even care. You know what I mean? Like, there's this one guy that wrote out in their last post. It was like 3-4 comments down because I enjoy reading that shit. It's funny to me. And he was just like, he's like, the hype was so real and I was so excited about it. But the more that there's no true information other than you guys promoting it, it becomes more of a negative thing than a positive type thing. And then they're like, oh, early 2000s, you know what I mean? Like assholes. Even though they're saying they're not being assholes. But, yeah, so I still don't have that. But, yeah, other than that, I think next week I'm going to talk more about Yakuza, because I look forward to playing that and not just the mini games. But if you do own that game, 2-player split screen bowling. Fun.
Split screen?
Or not split screen, sorry. God bless. Yeah.
Though that would be cool if it was like bowling attack.
Yeah. I wish it was like Tekken. The only
Let's
thing
make a game. Let's make a bowling attack game where you're like
it has to be quick. Yeah, that could be fun. The only thing I don't like about it is like it's not like the Tekken Tag Bowling. Because in Tekken Tag Bowling, like when you do something awesome, it's like yeah, like it's ridiculous. But if you never play the game, you have no fucking clue what I'm talking about.
We need outro music.
Yeah.
Yeah, like we really need to like. Oh, I wish we could use the horns from Sunny Disposition.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.